Hey, so I just missed the first couple floors. We start off with the shiny lighter. I love lighter as an enchanted item. I think a lot of enchants work really well, including shiny. You need to buff it up a little bit. Um, Upon a shot clause and a Zoarcid at the first shop. Pairing these together with the lighter means you get a bunch of charges. I mean, I think shiny is like a little bit better than fiery, I guess, because actually having two instances of burn seems like it can be pretty good. Especially with like conflagrate, because it's effectively the same in terms of the amount of burn you get, but it does trigger the effects twice. Like it should trigger this twice. So I think obviously we'll just go to pyro and see if we can get something. Everything here buffs a lighter, which is interesting. Like obviously the lighter upgrades it. Cinders, there's two cinders, one's silver, one's bronze, and the fiery skill also buffs it. So everything helps our lighter out. I think that's pretty worthwhile. We get the lesser of the cinders, which is a little bit unfortunate. Um, we could go to Curio Shop. Obviously, there's some really great there's the great like this was like Salamander Puff. It's really good here. I think we'll just take the hide and seek. I'm really big on taking free value. I think it can you can get yourself in trouble if you're always going for the expensive stuff. I actually think here, since we don't really have any room, I think I'll just take money. I think this build can win day one. I don't think it's likely to improve very much yet until we have more room. So I think just preparing ourselves for day two, hoping we can handle this one. It's possible we can't, obviously, but we are, accelerating our Zoarcid, which is accelerating everything else, and it's getting buffed. So everything's sort of feeding into each other here. We have a pretty good synergistic board, and it looks like we take them down pretty easily. What do they have? They have a pet rock that was icy, and it's sort of interesting that this can only freeze small items because it's not even like a fast attack speed. So it's like, why does it need that limitation? But I don't know. I'm sure they've thought about it. Obviously the flame seems like the most obvious one. We'll grab that. I think this allows us to stack. So once you get that threshold of stacking, it's obviously a big deal. Um, bronze tier chocolate bars. That is 10% health right now, but I mean it's not like long term. So I think we'll just look for this, see if we can get some upgrades. Um, could take a piranha net just for an econ thing. I kind of hate doing that, honestly. Mostly just because I forget about it. It causes more trouble. I'll take the upgrade here, and then I'll just take a piranha and a shield. Piranha gets buffed. I just think it's worth having a shield. Um, I love study, and I like BB here. We don't actually need the XP here. BB upgrades this by one, or this. Sorry, I shouldn't say this. Shiny lighter. It increases the lighter's damage by one. One increases the shock cause buff by 10. We don't need this. I think we want to win some days. Let's buff the shock clause here. I think that's the correct one. I hate passing up XP, but since we have enough that we can level, I think we can take down the scrapper fairly easily. The seashell is our worst item. We'll look to replace that when we can. But I think this should, like, the charging into the hasting, into the buffing, I think should just give us enough damage to not have a problem with this guy. Who's not very strong as it is. Yeah, we take them down very, very quickly. Looks like just over 11 seconds. Right, this one got to attack once. Yeah, so about 12 seconds it took us. Um, and this buff's a heal thing. We don't have any heal thing. We could end up just putting that in. One income's okay, but I think maybe we look for the salamander pup. Um, we didn't quite get it. Shadow cloak actually with the shiny lighter could be something. So let's maybe try that. Any chance? No. Okay. Well, we do get a cinder though, so let's see what we want to do here. I think we're gonna sell this as well. Take a cinder, take a feather, and take a knee brace because I think knee brace is a little bit busted. And we will put this in. We're gonna grow. Our board's gonna grow, right? Wait, is it? Because I took a pup. I don't think we need this. Am I a dope? Because I took a. Yeah, we have one more floor, right? Okay, yeah. Oh, and we'll take another pup. Okay. Or not a pup, but this is a cute furry monster or something it's called. Let's get another loot item. Obviously, burn is great. Shield is just whatever. We can maybe save that. And I think we want the knee brace in. This is going to be hasted a good percentage of the time, but I think maybe it's worth it to get hasted all of the time. Right? Or... because this will multicast, it will give it 2 haste. Yeah, I think it just accelerates this so much that it's worth it. Otherwise, we could haste the Shock Claws as well, which is also hasted. I mean, I guess the exact same amount of time, because they're both being hasted by the same source. They have a lighter and... oh, Fang. A buffed Fang here is kind of scary. Are we faster than them? Yeah, look at how fast we stack this now, though. That's so huge. We stacked a lot. I mean, this is only a 5, 5 burn lighter. And we got to keep knee brace in, getting an extra 100 health. Early in the game when you only have health in the hundreds, that's obviously very good. Is there anything we can do? Can we transform a loot item into a better loot item? Let's just take a small weapon. Just take some gold, basically. And you know what? I think we're just going to take more gold. Our board's full. I think we're fairly strong. I think we can win the PvE fights, so let's just do that. I think we just do enough damage. The burn will stack, although it's against shield, although I think we can actually take down their shield, so the burn actually will do a good amount of damage. And yeah, this is just perma-hasted. Yeah, so it's not really clear that we need to be hasting this, so maybe we do swap these. Because it only hasted for 1 second. I guess it hit, 2 seconds a cast. So yeah, the shiny does just seem kind of better. Upgrade up funds. Okay, so I'm going to get super greedy and upgrade this, I think. Just to get an extra 100 health. Maybe get an extra 200 health, because we'll play it the next fight. And what can we put in? If this gains haste, you get crit chance. We could put this right here. Otherwise, we'll just do this and this. Just to get, this is just the added stuff. And we'll look for a fight here. Hopefully get something good. Oh, we just get an item instead. And it's not a great one. Could put an upgrade on the lighter at this point, or keep looking. Let's keep looking, see if we can get the salamander pups. I do love slow buff, but not anything we have here. I don't think we need a sharpening stone. It's an expensive roll, but I'll do it. I want these pups so bad. We don't find them, but we do get crit, insect wings, and haste. I think what we're going to do is put the haste on... I'm going to continue to reduce this cooldown. I don't think we need the haste on the shadow cloak. I think maybe we take out the shadow cloak and put the haste on the Zoarcid. Thing I refuse to be able to pronounce. Because I think that's going to keep this basically perma-hasted. Yeah, I just don't think we need that. I don't think this does enough. I do like this, though. The makeshift barricade, which just increases your slow. But we don't have the slow items yet. I think maybe it's a little too ambitious to get it on that much spec. They're level 3, level 4. We do have a knee brace in as one of our extra things, but, we have a health advantage. We did get 100 health from our knee brace last round, so we have a 150 health advantage on a pig who usually has more than us. They have an interesting build, a lot of healing and shielding. Hopefully we can outscale. It looks like we take them down fairly quickly. Yeah, we really just ran right over them, started stacking. Our burn shiny lighter can really stack. If we get any kind of buffs on this, this could really take us into the late game. Because it's that was day 3. I mean, eventually that's going to fall off, but not yet. I think we don't have enough money to really go weapon shopping. We don't even want anything particular. Getting a fishing rod there is actually super nice. Nice little econ item. Um, we don't need relax before because it only works in the PvE fight. I think we're just going to the docks and getting maybe a tool. I think this is a tool. Power Center probably not something we're gonna play. I think we could take out a Hexa. So a Hexa's tough if you're relying on small items, but these take 12 seconds. I guess this can charge it. And I think we can apply enough burn and get enough stacks that by the time they destroying our small items, it's already too late for them. And you can see that just went off, and then they died a couple seconds later. So yeah, that wasn't that scary. So something to think about, but yeah, being able to take this down. Some of these fights are like very, they feel a little bit binary. Like either you absolutely crush them, or they're fairly difficult. When you use your rightmost item, charge one slow item. Huh. I mean, so we can make this our rightmost item, and this triggers very quickly and can charge a slow item. It depends. Do we have like a lot of slow items that are super good? Otherwise, we're rolling. Let's just roll. Let's see if we can get like a. First time use an item, taste one aquatic. And then this. One of your weapons gain haste if it already has haste. So that's actually very good with the Shadowed Cloak later on. Yeah, let's grab that. That could work on one of these things. These Shock Claws, maybe. More haste stuff. I love Silencer. I'm always willing to pick that up. I can envision us going like a powder cake build later, maybe, and using the shiny lighter to help set that off. And in which case we'd like the what do you call it? The thing. I'm gonna sell a couple things just to clear some space. It's not optimal to sell this stuff before we get to like a Barclay or something, but medium items. I was just talking about powder keg. We could take a small burn item as well. Help stack. Or even get a lighter, which would be nice. Yeah, let's check that out. Oh, we get a silver lighter, which does not stack. Or, I mean, doesn't combine. But having two lighters means that if we do get a powder keg, we can set them off very fast. We're getting a lot of instances of burn. Because lighter is like I think the fastest burn item, and we have like a triple cast on that now. So and it's actually gonna charge our Zoarcid even more. So we have an interesting little combo here. I wonder if it makes sense to put both of them on like next to the Zoarcid. So yeah, if we can find like a powder keg and upgrade it, we could really be sort of off to the races there. We've kept the knee brace in. I do love knee brace. I think we've gotten 500 health from it of 1200 health. So that's pretty nice. And then yeah, here's the reason you don't want to sell all your items prematurely. Musket's pretty good. Deals a lot of damage and is always going to be charged. So why don't we pick up a musket real quick. And then we can roll. And I don't think we need like a lighthouse. I don't think that's the type of build we're going. And we can't afford anything else, which means it was probably a bad idea to roll here. So what I think we're going to do is put in a musket and replace this. Just dealing 300 damage is probably going to be better than whatever those goofy things we're trying to do. Okay, we'll get to Scoville. I wonder if it makes sense to put these two. Okay, we want this one on the... We want the shiny one on the right. These will just be really hasted. They'll burn very quickly. Actually, so if we were to get... I mean, obviously Fiery's good, obviously Cinder's good. If we happen to get Pickled Peppers, we do have a ton of instances of burn going off before the 11 seconds. I could see this being fairly effective, if that was the direction we decided to go. Okay, so they apply a lot of burn, but we should be able to crit, we crit them to death. This is doing 180 damage. I guess it's been buffed. It starts at 150, I think, to, times 2, so it's fairly effective there. If both adjacent items are food... Yeah, I don't think we really have any way to make that happen, which is a little bit unfortunate. What's going on here? Oh, this bug is always happening to me. So we'll probably just have to sell that. I do wonder if instead of the shielding item, we're better off with a cloak and put it here. Just haste this up. I used to only haste it for 1 second though. I guess 1 second is not that long. What are we looking for? Loot item. Again, we have a lot of good items. That is not one of them, unfortunately. We'll go Trash Town. Sell these things. Again, not optimal, but they're in my way. We could go Infernal Envoy, but we're just going for XP. We're pretty strong now, but we don't necessarily have to build the scales. You know, we have a lot of flat numbers, basically. Like, this does 300, but you can't really scale it that easily because it doesn't have, like, it's not like you can't give this any more crit. And, you know, it's not a super fast attacker, so there's not a lot that scales on. It basically just has a 2x multiplier, but can't crit. So, you know, and these are attacking fast, but we don't have, like, a great way to scale them yet, so we sort of just need to figure out how to make sure our build, you know, can keep going. And until we find that, again, don't need to sell these, but I think we have enough money. We'll look for some weapons. Again, Powder Keg would be interesting. We do have haste, so javelin would have been good there. I should have maybe taken a look at that. We don't have a setup for submarine or flagship. Flagship is actually good with cloak. The only problem is cloak is an apparel that takes up 2 slots. It's actually interesting with cloak and streamline weapon because it gains a ton of attack when you know, when that starts going off. But the problem is it's an apparel and it takes up room. I guess, you know, we could honestly go... Yeah, so it's an apparel that takes up room, but you also need, like, a property... Okay, we could get another Zoarcid. We're really, like, tripling down on some of these items. We could also get this goofy coconut thing. Don't necessarily need to sell this. Let's move some stuff over. So here we go. We'll do a lot of hasting. Everything will be very hasted. I guess we don't need to double haste this, so let's put this actually in between these. And then we can just throw this here for extra damage, and then we can sell this because it's at max value. Although I've seen that go above 10, I've mentioned that before, but I don't know why, I don't know how. Upgrade a silver item. Okay, there's probably no chance that upgrading the knee brace isn't just the greediest thing in the world. Let's upgrade the silencer. I know it doesn't seem like it does much now, and also, you know, we could obviously do these to add a burn, but I think eventually if we get a powder keg or something, specifically powder keg, I think this could be what we're looking for, so I think it's going to be the most effective one. We are passing up basically 100 health in this fight, because we're going to keep the knee brace in, so, you know, something to think about, but I think overall this is going to be better. And so they have shielding, which is good against burn. This fight's really going to come down to, can we just stack a ton of burn on them, you know, and, you know, sort of crit down their shield, and it looked like, yeah, the answer was yes. Also, these things are attacking very fast because they look like they're perma-hasted now. Haste is very strong. It just basically reduces the cooldown by half. So if you can just stack tons of haste on stuff, I mean, go for it. We do have some money. Small and medium items are a lot of what we have and what we're looking for. This helps us if we win fights. Yeah, let's grab it. It's a decent econ item. We only need to win 2 fights for it to be worth it. No powder keg here. That is really what I'm looking for. Ooh, medium items. Oh, we could have taken a burn item. I was really tunneled on this imaginary powder keg build that I'm insisting on going on. Don't find anything. Let's make sure we aren't overloaded on items. What did we get? Was that the seashell one, the one we got? I think we can take down Infernal. We have 18 seconds. We'll apply a lot of burn in the meantime. This will get 3 or 4 shots off probably in 18 seconds before this goes off. So, you know, if it's doing over 300, they only have, I think, 1900 health. So it's doing enough. And yeah, it looked like we, you know, got that off in probably 10 or 11 seconds. And got 3 shots off. Yeah, did 1200. They had 1900 health. Plus we had a bunch of burn. So, yeah, easy peasy. Ooh, wow, Cinder's obviously great with our upgraded lighter. So I'm going to do this real quick. And then I think I just saw the burn talent person. When you burn, items gain crit chance. So this, when we use an item haste burn items, we're already perma-hasting. I don't think that's necessary. Tracer Fire, we can get a lot of crit chance. Basically every 3 seconds every second we gain a crit chance. Or we could just go plus, this is like the most straightforwardly, just adding to our numbers. Conflagrate is really good. We could even just reroll. These are all good. I think I'm going to reroll. I think I'm going to get a little greedy here. And first time you slow. Do we have any slows? No. Use an ammo item. So I guess when we use our leftmost item, we do this. Unfortunately, this is right-handed, so we can't put it both. So that ended up being worse than we were hoping. We'll look for another skill. We can upgrade this. Or we can get these things. I think we'll just take the upgrade. Maybe not worth it. Yeah, so obviously the reroll didn't work out for us. Let's take the fight. I think Conflagrate was just like a little too tempting there. But just taking the +2, I think would have put us in a much better position, obviously. Because this is basically like +2, but you don't get the stats, and we can't use it on... It's obviously not on both things. We couldn't even put a shiny lighter in the right spot. We still have way more health than people, partially due to the knee brace, partially due to level ahead. Looks like they have a freeze build, and it looks like they give it lifesteal, so that could be an issue. Although burn is pretty good against lifesteal, just because, after they hit, they can only go to full, and then, all that time until their next attack is just time you get to burn them down, and then, do another volley of whatever. So, okay, now we're still searching for that salamander pup, which I was sure it was still in the game. Well, another Zoarcid. Let's start selling some stuff off that we don't need just to clear up some room. Zoarcid is probably better than the silencer right here. And we can just put Zoarcids in between everything. It's a pretty interesting one. We'll take the crit chance. And not a salamander pup. Okay. This is a cinders though, so we'll take the cinders and put it on a shiny guy, and then we'll just go to battle with our little Zoarcid army. This isn't gonna scale super well. We're gonna need to find something at some point. Still looking for powder kegs. This is like an expensive upgrade, but I think we will take it. It's only 50 though, actually. No, I'm not gonna take it. I talked myself out of it. I don't think the 50 is worth it, honestly. It's a little more damage, but this isn't going to be our long-term damage source. I think we need to not over-invest in this, because otherwise we'll just get, we just won't be able to buy, like, the good items, the diamond tier items we see later on. Okay, obviously we're just, so the more burn you have, the more the Zoarcids trigger, which means the, everything's hasted. Actually, this one is basically acting like a gold one because we did the buff to it. A little more money is nice too. Like we said, we don't want to be too constrained on money. I don't think we ever need to buff the ammo on this. This allows us to upgrade. Well, this is our only bronze item because we never bothered to upgrade it. Yeah, let's do that. Give it an extra burn. And let's see what they have in terms of powder kegs. That's the only thing I care about, it turns out. Nothing here. This is a burn item. And we do sort of want burn items. We could always replace the knee brace, obviously. This can only do 18 total, though. I think maybe we don't need that one. We are sort of ready to get off of some of this stuff. Let's see what they have in terms of lodge items. Are there any lodge items that burn specific? I mean, there's the lighthouse that does burn, but that works off. It triggers off of slow. Yeah, nothing really. I guess maybe there weren't that many large items that do a ton. So, fighting a level 8, we're level 9. We have another, some health from the thing as well. So we will have a health lead. But we're at the point where I think our build is not really scaling. So I think, something that this looks like a pretty streamlined build, we could be in trouble here. If we get a lot of burn on them, obviously, that could be a nice, we could just basically steal the fight. But it looks like they probably have a better combo. It looks like we just sort of zerg them down. I mean, we do have a strong build. We are hasting quite a bit. The other thing that burn does is it does charge the Zoarcids, so maybe that would have been worth it. I was thinking like the burn doesn't add that much, but charging the Zoarcids extra to give more haste might be good. We'll take the Mysterious Portal. This is usually just a high value one. Freeze items could be good. We could get some enchanted stuff. Nothing enchanted. Nothing really super interesting. Do we want to pay 8 for this? I don't think we do. We do have 24 gold. I will because we have so much gold hanging back. Okay, this could be a way to get around that corner. We have to sell off some stuff. What if we sell off this at this point? So we can buy this. Now, this isn't going to be super strong yet. But it will have a bunch of haste. You can just throw this anywhere. It will have a bunch of haste, and it will trigger quite a bit from these. So freeze, poison, burn. So we do need to upgrade this. This is very good with an upgrade. We don't get an upgrade till level 13, unfortunately. So maybe we just have to get lucky and find one. I think we'll just take 5 gold. We don't really have enough money. Silencer isn't doing a great amount. Oh, Burninator bot has a lot of burn items. That sort of makes sense. When you slow each fight, charge a burn item. Also, Flamethrower is just incredibly strong. Just one of the most broken items in the game. Yeah, we hit pretty hard, though. What did that hit for? 1500? At how many seconds was that? So this had triggered... So this triggered twice, but not 3 times. So... And this had triggered twice, but not 3 times. This had triggered twice, so maybe something got slowed. Do we have any slow? I don't think we have any slow. So it looks like... Oh, this charges. So it was between 8 and 12 seconds, it looked like. And this also hadn't triggered twice. So yeah, under 12 seconds it hit for 1500. So that's pretty good. When you slow charge a burn item. So we'd like to get some things that slow. Enchanted item with can't be frozen. So one of the things about enchanting this with Radiant is that this is pretty ineffective if our other things aren't triggering. So if, say, the rest of our board got frozen, but this didn't, it's not like a boulder that just would run over people. That said, I think preventing this from getting frozen might be worthwhile. And, you never really know what the reroll is going to give you. So, I think we'll just take that. And we'll take an aquatic item. Maybe we get one of these. No, we get a shock ray. That's fine. I guess, do we have enough gold? We have some gold. We can just go to JJ's, I guess. Maybe find something that we, sort of in the market for. We can only win 2 more fights, so wanted poster is at most 2 XP. And we don't have that much gold, so I'm going to pass this. I do hate passing this, but I think it's just not going to do much here. They're at 8, we're at 10. So one of the things is, I keep saying our build's going to fall off, and it will. The thing about, the way this game works, right, is that... Okay, what is this? Fiery... Okay, so this could be like a pretty wild fire build if this thing gets going. So the thing about the way this game works is that, the longer you go, the more days you play, if you can accelerate the timetable of this game in a way that similar auto battle is, it's not that easy to, right? So, do we lose a day? Oh no, this would be our 8th win. I always get confused because we have 1 fewer wins than the number of days. So unlike in like TFT, like you can do a lot of damage to like a single opponent each round, but it's not like you can just like end the game super early with tempo a lot of the time. You could do some stuff, but this is something where like we can, we're basically just playing our own game. And we can end the game a lot faster if we are just winning every day. As soon as we start losing, dragging it out, it makes that scaling problem harder. But if we can win every day, we can sort of mitigate some of the scaling thing, because at most we're facing level 10 decks. This is not a vehicle, right? No, this is a big Slumbering Beast. Charge a slow item. We really would love to find a slow item. I think we're just going to roll and hope to find... First time you slow freeze... yeah, let's get some crit... Oh, we can't even afford... I forgot this is one you had to buy. Okay, this was just a bad shop to go to. Sometimes I just click things. You see me do that. Yeah, let's go here. We're looking for Primordial. Don't find it. Let's roll. Nope, this isn't it either. Unfortunate. We don't have poison. We don't have slow. We keep talking about slow. Why do I keep talking about slow? Oh, whenever you slow, do a thing. I wonder if there's any things that do slow. Can we get something like when we burn, we slow? Oh, that just upgrades that one. Okay. When we saw weapons gain, we don't have any slow. Okay, we'll take this and we'll hope that eventually we get some kind of slow thing, because we're banking on that. I think we can maybe kill them with a primordial shot before we get the second hit of this one. So that's the game plan here, is get the second primordial shot off in time. Because they'll fully heal up after this one, and then we're just hoping that this one kills them, because the primordial shot will be very big and they'll be taking burn damage this whole time. And yeah, exactly as planned. So that's great, because we get close to level 13 when we can get the upgrade, and hopefully we get a cool skill. Now we get a freeze thing. We can take out the knee brace now. We've been sort of greeting with it pretty hard. We don't need this thing. Are there any hero merchants that are worthwhile? I guess there's some that do burn, right? I guess Mac has some burn. We do basically have 2 slots that aren't doing anything. What is a Viper Cane? A poison item gains poison equal to this. You regen. Okay, that seems like a lot of words to not do much. I don't think we're gonna roll here. Yeah, I guess we could take these things out and just put this back in, because they're definitely better than... Oh, we have another... Do we really get another Zor? Okay, I gotta put it back. What am I gonna do? Not put it in? Oh, this is probably good, given that everything's being hasted. Like, given that we have so much haste going off. I kind of want to put the 4th Zoarcid in, though. I think I'm just gonna sell this for room-based reasons. I just like having a whole Zoarcid army. I wish this triggered off things being hasted. Because like at some point they're only hasting each other, right? I could put the knee brace back in. I could just go like full Zoarcid here. I guess it'd be better too. I guess one is always hasting. No, I guess I could make them haste each other. Right, I could go like this. Like, this can't be good. Let's see if there's something on the next floor. This is mostly an aesthetic thing that I'm doing here. Maybe we'll find some more Zoarcids. Crit chance, 40% crit chance is probably worth it over the knee brace. Given the knee brace is doing roughly nothing. Okay, we get to upgrade one of our 3 Zoarcids, or one of our 4 Zoarcids. We get to upgrade one of the 3 of the non-upgraded ones. So, I guess it's better to do this. It wastes the thing, but it hastes this more often. And I think we will take the 14 gold, because if we get to the next day, well, we're going to get to the next day, right? It's only day 9. We'll be able to maybe, buy something good and hopefully hit 13 and get the charge. Oh, this is a Poppy field build. Poppy is really, really strong, I feel like. The only thing is, poison. It's not like mainly a poison build, though. We do have a lot more HP than them. We have like 2,000 extra HP, which maybe makes a difference here. Yeah, it did. Oh, and 40% crit actually helps us get there. So, the only real thing we want to do is make sure we upgrade this. And then I think we're just in a decent situation. For, a little Zoarcid build. We could do this, definitely. It's probably a good build here, like probably a good decision. But we could, because we're gonna hit level 13 anyways. So maybe we just look for the upgrades. Don't find any here. What is it? It sells medium items at an upgrade, so let's do this. Now, boulder is always interesting. I don't think we need a boulder here, but anytime you see a silencer, you see like you can get infinite haste, because we can really double haste it. I could see this being a build to the point where I will take it, but I mean I think we're gonna roll with this for today, and then we'll just think about maybe if this doesn't work out, we have something to pivot to. This is a burn item, and it helps us get more burn. When you use, let's buy this. We can put it in between these two and burn faster and accelerate this. Okay, octopus. So we will lose the crit chance if we do that, but actually I have an idea for how we can rearrange things that I think makes us more powerful if we're focused on the primordial slumber beast or whatever it's called. Oh, I forgot this one actually takes a while because they just have so much health. Um, oh, it's actually like a closer. The octopus isn't like a hard fight, but that was actually closer than it looked like it should have been. So here's what I want to do. Wow, so we have no medium items. It'd be really nice to have exactly one medium item. Let's upgrade an item. Let's upgrade this one. So I think this just, does it make it 100 and 100 and also 2 seconds, or is it just, yeah, so it looks like, okay, so more damage, more charge. That's perfect. So what if we do this, right? What if we can put this over here now, because I don't think the burn actually like matters a ton. And we can put this in between. Actually, we can keep going like this, right? I think we want this maximum hasted. So this is 2 seconds. This is 4. This is 3. I don't think we actually need a 4 next to it. I think everything is maybe just perma-hasted. So I think we want something like this. Oh, the only problem is now these aren't hasted. So actually, let's put these back the way they were. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, if we just do like this. These all hasting each other. This is 3 seconds. This is 4 seconds. So this should be well and hasted over here. And then what does this want us to do? We can go anywhere. Okay, well we sort of have our entire build. So looking for like non-build things. Yeah, I wonder if, are there any loot items you can get from this? No. So I guess we're just networking in case we go to the next day. Oh, let's take a shield. That actually helps us in the fight. And yeah, we're in a fight. We're level 13. They're level 13. Both potentially strong builds. Just trying to maximize the amount of burn triggers we get. Oh, I guess by putting the thing here, it actually takes away the trigger anyways. This looks like some kind of crazy lifesteal build. The shield, there should be a shield, it just doesn't show up yet. There it goes, as soon as we get hit, it shows up. We're going to need to get another attack off with our Primordial. Oh, are we going to need a... Oh, I don't know if we're going to get the third attack off. Oh, we did! Wow, beautiful. Awesome. So yeah, that was peak gameplay. Just like we drew it up. We really rode the shiny lighter. It was really strong in the early game. It was just winning us fights, and then eventually we were just able to transition. The fact that it does multiple triggers into a just a build that obviously carried the the Slumbering Primordial is what it's called, and we had the Radiant Enchant. This build is probably more efficient if you don't have 4 Zoarcids, if you just have a normal amount, but it worked, so you can't argue with results. But yeah, it's awesome. I think I'm not sure I arranged these correctly. I was trying, so the leftmost item triggers the hotspot thing. Then the one next to it, next to the incendiary rounds, also triggers that. So I'd like to have, I don't know if you can put incendiary all the way on the left and have the lighter trigger, because some of these don't. You can probably highlight it, right, and it will tell you. Although this, when you highlight it, it's showing you all the things that like trigger off of burn, not the one that's currently triggering this. I don't think we ever got a slow item, so we had 2 diamond skills that were doing nothing. We had this thing sort of helps these things scale, but not in a meaningful way. So really, none of our skills. I mean, Hotspot was doing something, but the rest of our skills were really not doing anything. So there's maybe a way to get more triggers off the shiny lighter incendiary rounds combo that I could have figured it out. And yeah, I could have made sure this, like whatever one's next to this was hasting. So I probably could have. Oh yeah, this one. There's no reason for the 4-second one with the lowest cooldown to be hasting 1 item instead of 2. Like we could just swap these 2 gold ones. A lot of inefficiencies here, obviously. My bad. wasn't that instructive, I guess, but it worked. It's cool to see a build work. You sort of stumble through the early game and just kind of keep sort of wiggling through and pivoting, and we get a little perfect victory, which is fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. Lighter, I think, is one of the best enchanted items. Just the fact that something with a low cooldown is just abusable in general in this game. And in most games, just cooldown is such a big thing. It triggers many times, which just means that anything that counts the number of triggers is going to work well. It also means it scales really well. Like it was scaling off the final flame. We didn't really have a lot of scaling on this lighter, but you saw, at least in the early game, it was actually, yes, here it wasn't triggering off the final flame because I put the incendiary rounds there. But earlier on, and I mean, it's just because this double triggers all our Zoarcids, like Zoarcids, whatever we decided on, and that's just like a really cool, really cool thing. So I think, yeah, anytime you see a lighter that's enchanted, I think it's worth serious consideration, almost no matter what the enchantment is, just because it, gets so many triggers. Short cooldowns are just amazing. Hope you enjoyed watching. I thought this was a fun one at the very least. Have a great day, everyone.